that's okay. You probably won't even hear this part of it because that's the way the cookie crumbles with our good old system. Okay, so you might notice that there's a few new innovations sitting here. What have we got here? We have a scale. So just like when you're walking into a restaurant or a bar or someplace like that, and there's just this little thing on the side of the door that tells the restaurant people how tall you are. It doesn't really bode much for the restaurant people, does it, when you think about it? But that's okay. Uh, tells them how tall you are. Apparently they aren't able to without a scale. But what I found out is that it's much, much simpler to estimate sizes when you use these weird kind of things. Now, the major issue that we've got here is the fact that, well, especially at a time such as this, when I'm specifically turning on my live stream at late at night so that the Americans can appreciate this as much as the Australians, it's kind of the perfect kind of time. So I'm an Australian and we use our version of freedom units, which is centimetres, and usually an American or a North American or a NA, NA, I think that's what people are calling you now. A North American will use inches, pounds, flagells, cubits, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, no, we don't have a clue. So what I do know is that an inch is roughly about 2.5 centimeters. So I've got a handy dandy scale here. This is a dot for 1, this is a dot for 2, and this is 3. So it's done in Roman numerals. We'll move over here. This is the Roman numerals, and at the top I've just been I very carefully wrote centimeters. My daughter very helpfully said that says CH. But at any rate, so let's have a look at this. We can measure our opals relatively quickly now. The quickest way I've been able to do it, and I've been measuring them using a paper version of this method. So you just basically get your opal. Yep, that's basically 1.9 centimeter opal. Done. Let's get another opal, have a look at it. Super glued it. Okay, so that is looking like a 2 centimeter opal as well, but we can actually go up a bit. Yeah, that's about I don't know, 2.2. Now what we'll do is we'll very handily, because there's probably Americans coming online at the moment, I'm going to have to estimate how big an inch is. Not a fisherman's inch, an ordinary inch. And I reckon that an inch, this is 2 centimeters, it's about 2.5, so I'll be halfway between. This is only going to be a rough. This is accurate. The inch is going to be not as accurate as the centimeters. I'm sorry about this, Americans. But I'm just going to put a little bit of glue here, and hopefully this is going to stick. If it doesn't stick, we're all screwed. Or maybe we'll have accurate measurements, because this is not going to be the most accurate inch measurement ever. Okay, here we go. So hopefully, let go, and nope, it's not sticking. This, I thought that this would be kind of a cool interactive thing to do when everyone comes online, because you know it's fun. It's just like play school, really. No, Philip, don't do ideas like this. Just make the thing, measure out the inch correctly, and just put it up and let the people enjoy the thing rather than just watching me fumble around for a few minutes. Okay, let's see how we go. All right. So here's the scale. Did I just see 76 people tune in? Amazing. Okay, this is an opal cutting channel. Just in case you're interested, I'm just quickly putting an American scale for inches with a wooden stick. So that's now. G'day, German Empire. How you doing? Okay, the super glue's gone. So this is why I was so happy. Why it's so unbelievable. Turning on the water. Found this guy in a very, very nondescript pile of opal rough. Just turning on water. There we go. Water is on. Okay, so it's this guy. What I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom into it so you can actually see what I can see. You're German, so you'll be fine with the metric system. Guten Tag. I presume it's Morgen at the moment. Have a look at that. So this is an opal. And this, oh, hang on, I'll go back. What I was making just there is just a scale. I've discovered that measuring is actually a lot faster when you use a scale like this. So let's use this opal as an example. This is 2 centimeters. And if I move it up a bit, because it's a little bit over, so it's probably 21 mil. Simple. So that's the general idea. Just believe me, it's much faster to measure things this way. So, yeah, they're good. That's about as far as my German goes. I'm terrible. I can count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And, you know, I presume there's numbers after that. But, yeah, this is an inch because there's going to be Americans coming online. So the wooden stick is at the inch mark. So that'll make everybody happy with what's going on. So here's the opal. We'll zoom in again so people can see it again. I am very happy with this. Now, this is bought, like, the supplier told me that this opal was no good. They're stretch gems. Gem art. That's good. This is probably one of the cheapest opals I've ever bought. Now, there's a lot of sand in it, and I've got a question. I'm wondering if I should treat it like a matrix opal. It's a Cooper Beatty. So, those guys are just going to move this camera to the cutting wheel, which is just, come on, zoom out, zoom out, zoom out, zoom out. You get the screen a bit wet and this happens. Got it. Right. You have to zoom in to get the colours, because if you have a look at it now, you wouldn't think that this was a particularly amazing opal, but it is. So let's just get this going and see what we can. Whoop. Forgot to plug it in, and it is here. Normally I just turn the switch, but I was using the light. So this is just an ordinary Dremel tool attached to some stuff. So let's have a look at what this opal does. Hopefully it's going to be just as spectacular when I finish cutting it. So what I'm going to do at first is just make sure that the edges are all nice and tidy. I don't mind scraping the top off a bit. A lot of opal cutters, especially when they're doing it for live streams and stuff, for dramatic effects, they're gonna leave it till last. But quite frankly, look, there's nothing wrong with that approach, except for my focus is the opal. And yes, I think it's nice for people to join in and watch. But really, if I don't cut a good opal, then there's no point. And so I'm going to do everything for the welfare of the opal, so to speak. Yeah, it has a very sandy skin, and I was wondering whether I was going to do well actually putting it in with some, treating it like it was a matrix opal, to be honest. This is the beauty of being Australian. You get access to some pretty decent opals. Pretty cheap. What I've learned is that I'm just going to turn this up a little bit. Not too much. But we'll be here forever if we don't. But if we turn it up too much, then this opal will start smashing itself up. Yeah, being Australian, you have good access to opals, and I've found out I have a pretty good talent for picking them out, because what I'll do is I'll buy some very cheap rough of some people who supplied me before, and I'll just go, don't worry, I'll just take off your hands whatever you don't want. And one of the reasons I do that I'm done. Ich bin ein Wissenschaft. Actually I am. Let me. Well, yeah, that's a good statement to make, but I've been experimenting with Cooper opals, and I think, and I only think, that there are some Cooper opals that will absorb some stuff. I'll bring out a jar full of them that I'm going to be experimenting with later. Now, what you're saying is traditionally, yes, correct. And I could be thoroughly wrong. I could just be talking around my hat, but I'm very curious. I want to have a try anyway. The thing about this is that, oh yeah, the cracks, of course. Having said that, I infused a cracking, made a really wonderful stone that you won't be able to set. I called it Christmas tree because the stain went all through all through some cracks, which are in the shape of a Christmas tree. So it's really pretty, really beautiful opal. It's just good luck. Good luck putting it into a setting. Yeah, I know what you're saying. I'm curious. I think there is matrix opal in Cooper. That's all. Hang on, I'll grab it for you and show you. We've got this stuff here. So that's probably not going to accept a stain. But, where is it? Stuff like that might. I think that's actually being held together by opal matrix, and there's a bit of opal in there. So, look, I could be wrong, but that will absorb, at least that sandstone material should absorb some stain. Whether it's going to do it any good, whether that's just going to come straight off and the solid opal in the middle is going to be all that's going to shine is another question. But there are a few opals which I'm intrigued about. There's this one as well. They just look like they're matrixy, so I'm just going to give them a crack. And you're probably right. You're probably right that it's not going to do anything, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to try. Yeah, well, that's what I saw. I'm sorry, German Empire. This guy knows a little bit about opal, and so I'm doing something which is considered to be a little bit suspect. That he's going, why would you do that? Quite rightly so, too. Now, let's have a look. We'll just use the light. There's a lot of sand sitting in here. Let's have a look at the other side. Sand all the way through it. We'll see. That was the reason why I was going, maybe this will treat. If this doesn't work out, I will actually. Oh, it's gonna have a look at this. It's going to be an interesting stone, a more interesting stone because there's a lot of sand still in it, but the colour is just absolutely amazing. So we'll see what transpires. Yeah. So have you tried treating it, or you just and you know for a fact that it won't treat? Oh, come on. Sorry about this, guys. There we go. More than likely. Might have to. I'm going to have to cut along the worst of the sand. Better to cut early. It's a high value stone. I have a laser that I assess it with too, so I should have brought out all of the technology for this one, but that's okay. Look at that. Okay. I think we're going to be all right. Have a look at this. There is still a little bit of sand there. Oh no! All right. Have a nice evening, my friend. Auf Wiedersehen. There we go. So I think we're going to be okay. Hopefully I'll get this into a nice colourful pattern. The back is going to be the back, I suppose. The top bit here is getting a bit thin, and I'm noticing another piece there, so I might actually carve that off there too. Because if we're lucky, for example, this tiny little piece, that'll make a nice little pointer. And I've just cut through the most of the sand inclusions. Let's have a look at what it looks like if I clear it up. Yeah, beautiful little pointer there. Okay, there's still a little bit on the back, but that's easily doppable. Nice little gem there. It just looks like the other ones. I'm not going to zoom in because it's going to be too much of a headache to unzoom at the end of it. But I've got a jar here. These are all my rubs. And so if it makes it, it goes in. Tink. All right. Okay, so I think I've managed to deal with all of the issues with this stone. If I have, this is probably one of the easiest high value stones I've done in a while. Is that a crack? Could be a crack there. Won't be any harm. Yeah, won't be any harm in taking that bit off either. All it means is that if I'm able to make a pointer out of those things, instead of just having, you know, your high value stone, you have your high value stone and a whole heap of other stones that you can sell as sisters and brothers. I might get the opal cheap, but it's not like it's completely free, and the time it takes to sort through a couple of kilos of practically worthless rough is quite time consuming. And if you've seen some of my other videos, you'll realise that I don't just look at the opal and then think I've gotten all of it. I will leave it for a few days, I'll come back, I'll look at it again, leave it for a few days. Then I mix it in with the other rough that I've got, and I've got this just general rough collection that I have that I'll just look through when I've got a spare moment. This thing is starting to really shine up, and this is stage one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to keep that inclusion in there just for the time being, because I think that's doppable. Right, so far I've been conservative, but now I'm just taking the corner off. I'm going to be aggressive, just turning it into a cab. At this point in time, I'm really concerned about making it into wood opal. I don't care that much about you know, getting other offcuts now, because it's demonstrated its worth as an opal. So now it's very carefully just ensure that you get good carats out of this. I don't like doing this, but I'm going to have to. I'm not cutting it, I'm just going to scrape that sandy part away using the tip of the blade. What I could do is if necessary, I can soft polish it. So that should be alright. But if this gets too much, I'll just have to cut it at that point. There's no point in having a... How far does that go through? It's still there. Okay, let's just... I'm going to very carefully just carve this down a bit. Then I'm going to just go in again. Normally you cut it in half, but I got greedy, so I've gone too far, so I have to just keep going with this, with the course of action that I selected. Sunk cost fallacy, perhaps. What have we got here? There's still more to go. I'm going to have to slice it in half. I don't want to, but I'm going to have to. Because I can still see that there's stuff on the top, on this surface that needs to be removed. So, how annoying. So instead of got, you know, $1,000 stone, I've got $300 or $400 worth of smaller stones. But so that's all right. So that guy will be sitting in about half a carat, I reckon. I'll measure it in a sec. This is the way of things, the way of the opal. Seeing that I spent all that time clearing the sand out, I'm going to use that as its face. And I'm going to use more sensitive instruments to cut it from here on in. So, this one's not going into the jar because I might do it after this session. So, I'll put that down there so you can see it. Now, where's the other one gone? It was here. Ah, that's annoying. Is that piece? Nope. Go. I'll put it on top. Oh, it's alright. It'll turn up. But I cut it in half, and then I concentrated so much on this other side. I think it's just gone down here somewhere. We'll be able to spool through the, basically I'll be cutting something similar to this. That happens from time to time. Oh well. I'll just carve this guy into another pointer, and then, well, that is quite the mystery. Where did it go? Never just a clear-cut case of, there you go, there's another pointer there. Now, did I go up here? Just go quickly check and have a look up the top. See if I can put it up here. No, that's not it. No, oh well. We're going to have a lot of fun. There's plenty of other opals to cut. What I thought I'd do after I'd done that one, there's the dregs of, no, I'll do this one. These two are theoretically knobbies. I don't think they are. I think they're seam opals. I found it just down here. Couldn't see for looking. Got it. Alright. I just literally put it down on this piece. It was just, I was concentrating so hard on, and I was a bit disappointed, to be honest, because look, there was the possibility that there was sand all through it because I could feel it. It was rough, but still I was hopeful. This guy is much smaller than I was hoping, and that's a bit annoying, but that's all right. I think if you've ever cut a gem, which I presume you have, you understand how you start off and you've got high hopes, and eventually you have the gem that you're left with. And I'll be just under a carat, that guy. Not a bad little gem. Zoom in on him. Beautiful colour. Yeah. Yeah, that's a lightning ridge opal that I'll do next. Okay. Now, don't get excited. This is a knobby. It's a witch's hat knobby. The reason why I'm looking at it is I thought I saw some colour in it, but I've got a few little pieces of colour from Lightning Ridge. Now, I have more colour from Lightning Ridge than this, but the reason why I'm doing these is because they're a bit of a lotto, these guys. So we may or may not get anything out of it. And I think it's more fun to do the lotto gems because we have no idea, basically. So, wish me luck, smoke them if you got them. Here's another one of these tiny little Lightning Ridge opals. Let's see what we get out of these. Oh, here's another knobby too. This is another witch's hat knobby. I cut some boulder and so it got a bit dirty. Yeah. Well, I'll have no trouble selling that one. It is a little bit small, but I should be alright. Okay, I'll stop and look at this. At the moment, we've got no colour. We've got picture stone happening. And I like the picture stone. It's just a nice white on black at the moment. And the white is, I presume, sand that has just become opal. Here's where the colour is. Oh, wait a minute. So the colour is just at the edge here. Can you see that tiny little piece of green? So that's giving me a little bit of hope that there might be something more underneath. Yeah, smoke him if you got him. Just don't smoke the opal. Alright, so the high risk part is that, like I showed you where the colour was, and by necessity I have to cut that bit off. So, and this is one of those times when, you know, there's no point in maintaining the mystery. You just got to get into it, and then once you know where the opal is, you then cut around it. Or alternately, you cry into your beer and you go home. But, you know, we're going to be optimistic here. We're going to be very optimistic. We're not doing any crazy matrix style experiments. We're just going straight into the opal. Have I cut past it? I'm just looking. It's quite possible I have now cut past the colour. What I might do is this bit is getting too thin, so I'll just cut that straight off and we'll keep working on the black bit. Whilst I'm cutting it, I'll probably have a good chance to have a look down the side. We'll use the waste bit first, have a look. So I'm going to carve along the side of the waste bit, practically carve the thing away, just to see if we've missed anything. Haven't missed anything, so if I've cut it right off. Or it's yet to be done. Nothing. Okay, so let's hope there's something here. Looking. Okay. Not looking good, but let's be hopeful. Alright, because of the way that the black is, I'll carve this one in a bit just to see. And I think if we're not going to get anywhere with it, I will just turn it into a blank for a doublet. The problem with carving the opals at night is sometimes you get sun flash, and I don't know how much Lightning Ridge you've carved, but Lightning Ridge has a definite feel if there's sun flash to it, and I can feel precious opal in it. So I mean, it could be just wrong, but this could well have sun flash, and because there's no sun, I'm not going to see it. So what I'll do is I'll just carve this. Oh, far out. Am I making things up, or is that actually colour? I don't know. Well, you were right. You were right. There is colour in there. It's that little spot there. Oh dear. Let's go. We may as well, you know, opal or bust, I reckon. Cut that colour off, because, like, who wants that, huh? There might be something underneath it. Oh, no way. Okay. What I'm seeing is I'm seeing a little bit of green. I'm going to give it a little bit more. There might be just the tiniest hint of green sitting here. That's not going to flash very well at all. And to go further, might just cut all that off. But if you want a good black opal, you have to take a few risks. So I'm going to risk cutting that green off. There was just this very, very light green that I didn't have a ghost of a chance of showing on the camera. Is that red? Yeah, there's okay. I'm betting this is a sun flash, so what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to post a picture of this in the morning, because I think there is actually colour in here, it's just you can't see it. I like them, I call them mystery stones. But good luck actually seeing any colour in it. Just having a look at what we've got here. I'll do another of these. I'll do this knobby, and then I'll do the darker knobby first, because why not? Oh, hello. How you doing, Gilly? It was an interesting start. There was like I was just getting things set up, and 75 people instantly tuned in. I was like, oh, okay. So I don't know if you've ever it's quite unfair. This guy seems to know what he's talking about with opal, so I can't bluster my way through. No, yeah, so this is actually a piece of meteorite. Can't do any of that. Alright, so this is, well, the remains of a witch's hat. And it's a bit squished around, and so I think it was a witch's hat that was about to join the seam community. So, and that nip there that was taken out of it, that was the dealer who was just making sure they weren't giving me anything precious. I knew what I was getting into, because once again, I consider the only honest advertisement for opal to be one that says no colour. Because they genuinely, they're not tricking you, they're just saying it's rubbish. Because it's the only honest advert you get, it's also one that they sometimes don't look through too harsh. They don't look through too well, and that's when you get that amazing multicolored opal, like it's probably one of the Europeans. Hang on, I'm going to just turn this Wi-Fi off. Because my phone internet's better, in case you were wondering. Now, have I approached this from entirely the wrong angle? We'll find out soon enough. What I might do is I might do the same trick. I'll cut through the thin bit. See what we got. Let's see what we got. Okay. Good news is the sand clears up. Bad news is I can't see no opal. Well, I can see opal. Potch opal. Could just be facing that way, so I'm not worried. What I will do, now that I know that it's like that, I will go and get the sand and I'll just smash it away. Well, now that's a bit of a shocker, isn't it? It's alright, it's going to clear up. As a matter of fact, I will clear it at an angle because I'm wondering whether the colour is coming. There could be no colour, just so you know. I'm not being doughy-eyed and naive about this. Okay, so I'll cut the corner off because that's useless. Don't worry about my fingers, by the way. I have to make this demonstration all the time. This cuts hard things like opal, not soft things like me. So I was concentrating. Oh, you're in New South Wales, huh? Well, that's good. So you get the general gist. Are you North New South Wales or Sydney region? I'm just thinking about in proximity to the Lightning Ridge. Yeah, it is. It's not a pet cockatoo, it's a fellow resident. And I've got two of them. And one is about 5 and one is about 7, I think. Birthday. We've decided that their birthday is September 11. Easy date to remember. So if they're born in the wild, it's according to breeding season. Yeah, I've just got black potch there, mate. So that'll turn into a doublet at some point. I mean, think about this. Let's flip this guy over. Yeah, cool. Let's pop this one that I just did onto it and see what it looks like. I'll zoom in. Need to get a better seal between the two. Looks alright. Doesn't really give you the oomph I was hoping for, but that's alright. Okay, piece of black potch. That was a bit of a bust. This... Oh yeah, I'll do this one now. What I'll do is, once I'm done with the knobbies, if there's nothing that's looking particularly amazing, I'll head back to the Cooper Peters because I've got a few gunners. Just doing the 2 trailer park girls. I'm just checking. Oh, far out. Sorry about this. How long has it been like that for? Yeah, it's just going around the outside, making sure there's a little bit of sand just here. I'm not concerned about that. There's a little bit of sand there. I think I'll just go in on the top and bottom and see which one faces best. From what I'm guessing, this is the top. It's got a white cap of sorts. Oh, Gilly, just so you know, if I zoom right out, oh, sorry, I shouldn't have done that. You can see on the right hand side, I've got a scale now. So you can see that that's just under 2 centimeters. Flip it over, we've probably got about 2 centimeters. Yeah. I found out that using this method is far faster and far more accurate than an ordinary ruler. I also stuck you can't see it, but I've stuck an inch marker in for the Americans as well. Well, it looks like the colour's sitting with the honest politicians this time around. I'll give it a real good look-see in a minute. I'll also do the other side. They are worth doing, the doublets. It's just sometimes the dealer is only interested in colour. They really don't care about whether it's a doublet or not. I consider that to be fairly short-sighted because opals should be an investment, but you know, that's what the market does. I always consider these prices to be kind of weird because I thought that a really good doublet or a really good triplet is quite a work of art. I'll crack out the pink potch heart that I made yesterday as well at some point. You'll like that. I mean, immediately if I'm in a hurry and like it's not a quality job, you can just use super glue or something and just stick it all together. But I mean, if you want to really do a good job, then you get your epoxies out and you get your dyes and you do all the stuff. See you, Cobius. Yep, this looks like a firelighter, Zippo. Alright. Now, I was looking for that other opal, and so I was looking for Cooper Pedy opals that was sand shot. So, I've got these guys. Let's have a look at see what this one does, because there's a bit of colour on it. I'll show you the end of it. See, there's just that little bit of colour sitting at the end of it. So, you never know. Let's give it a shot. Looks like wood opal again. Don't think Cooper Pedy is famous for wood opal. But it's a fairly good bet if you've got something that's sand shot, you use wood opal or a beach. But it's not trying to imitate it because it's essentially dyeing it, I suppose. I'm hopeful that this isn't one of those situations where the only colour is actually facing that way. Because I've already done an awful lot of carving for it to end up as something that needs to be refaced. Maybe I should have stuck this in with the experimentals. I love that. See that? That's encouraging to me because whenever you see that red, because you may not know my expertise comes from soil science, and so I mean Gilly knows that. That red colour tells me that wherever it was mined from has got some reasonably good drainage. And I've noticed that a lot of the time the good colour comes from areas which have got good drainage. I don't know why. We may just be going through the motions here because it might be just too sand shot. I'm just giving it a good wash to see what we've got. Then I'm giving me a good wash because my hands are covered in red filth. Okay, so yeah, still got a bit of sand to go. That bit's alright. What will we do? It may well be worth just carving that end bit off. Because that bit was clean, and I think this is actually a sandbar, basically. Yeah, it's resisting me here, so I think we'd go solid eventually. I deserve that. Look at this. I'm going to zoom in so you can see. So, there's a little bit of sand down here, and there's a little bit of sand on top, but I think that, I think it's going to make it. There's a little, you can actually see the shadow of sand just in there. But you can see how there's actually a lot of clear opal coming through. I might grab my laser for the next one because I think we should science it a bit more than what I'm doing at the moment. So I'll be surgical with the sand now. I'll try and I'll just go for the sand wherever it happens to be hanging out, and then we'll carve whatever's left. Colours here, right? So yeah, we can sacrifice that. Something dark under there, which is kind of fun. I think it's just dark sand though. I don't think I'm going to keep it because I think that if you keep polishing it, you end up running into the beach at some point. Right, so where's the colour? The colour is there. Okay. You want to play it that way? I'll play it that way. Thought I saw a crack. So what I'll do is I'll just bring that in. In case you're interested, I don't know where people are at their opal cutting, but I'm very trigger happy as far as cutting the opals concerned. I've learned that if you're deliberating on your own, going, should I cut this or not? The answer is yes, because you're always looking for that big opal. So there's this biased voice in the back of your head that's saying, I want to get the big opal. I want to get the big opal. You can't cut it because you won't have a big opal. I'm sure you've heard that voice. Yeah, I am. Yeah, I really am a doctor, not a medical doctor. I'm a soil scientist. So PhD doctor. Now that's a bit awkward. There's a little bit there. I reckon I can clean that out. Yeah, I think it'll clean out. If not, well, this is cheap opal. What am I expecting? It's cheap opal, of which I deliberately grabbed a piece that was sand shot. Because, yeah. And I'm sitting here going, oh, come on, where's the quality opal? In case you're interested, you can go to the University of Sydney and find my thesis all about translating between the two soil taxonomies of the United States and Australia. It's a riveting read if you want to go to sleep. Is that too thin? And have I gone too far? I think. Yeah, there's even a crack there. Ha. What to do? I'll just bring this in. I should have cut it. I think we're going to end up with half a carat, if that. At least I faced it up nice. I kind of like it because it's a bit of a skill to face up a small opal, so, you know, go me. But once I get to a certain point, I'm like, no, we dop it now. We stop and dop. Well, it's not too bad. I seriously can't complain about that. It's about half a carat, I reckon. Yeah, it's got a nice little pink thing. Half a carat. Geology. No, geology is a dirty word to us soil scientists. It's not that bad. It's kind of like Sydney and Melbourne, I suppose. People come along from Melbourne up to Sydney, they're going, oh, Melbourne's so good, so much better than Sydney, and we're like, what are you talking about? Great, Melbourne's better than Sydney, awesome. Don't care. Same deal with us soil scientists. We're sitting there going, oh, soil science, so good, it's amazing. And the geologist's going, what? Okay, good. You've got soil science. Yeah, great, great. So good to know. A lot of crossover? No, not at all, because the USA soils came out basically from the last glaciation, which is about 20,000 odd years ago. You would be hard pressed to find a soil that was 20,000 years old in Australia. We've got old, flogged soils. Yeah, well, I actually included the Kiwi system in the taxonomy because why not? And, like, New Zealand is one of the youngest continents. Australia's one of the oldest. Yeah, so basically about 6,000 years ago, so in recorded human history, New Zealand was still under glaciers. So it had all its volcanoes and its stuff. I didn't know that about, because I don't do geology, but they can't locate where the sapphires come from. Side catch when you're trying to get gold in a river. I'm not helping, am I? What about Tasmania? You can get various gems, like, what do you get? Those little red ones. So just readjusting my system so that I don't end up with water all over me. So this is looking very lackluster. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and grab, hang on, I'm just going to check, there's a little chance of a red bit here, so I'll just keep persisting. You can see that I'm kind of going through the motions. I'm just like one-handed, doing it one-handed. You certainly don't do that when you've got a massive precious opal sitting on you. Well, that's a nice bit of black potch though, so I'll be using that. Garnet, that's it. Antarctica's got massive, massive garnets. Well, we know where the emeralds come from. Like, that's emerald in Queensland. I'm still not helping, am I? Alright, let's have a look. I'm just going to grab a random handful from my top box and we'll have a look. Have a crack at that one. That can't be all my top box. That doesn't look very top at all. Going to get another handful from my top box. And I'm going to have words with my top box because I thought I had better than that. Ah, well, there's some matrix for you. That's a weird one. Okay, so this is a tiny little lightning ridge stone. Tiny little one. We'll quickly do this one. Shouldn't take too long. I think what he's worried about is what what they are worried about is that the actual origin of the sapphires is unknown. So they might have ended up there, but how did they get there? It's a mystery. And so I've been very helpful. He's saying, oh yeah, you pick them up off the ground, which I don't think is what is the point that was being made. That was a bit... Now what to do? Okay, I'm going to zoom in and you're going to see my little dilemma. I've cut off the black. So we've got a nice colour. Just sitting there all on its own. What I might do is I will carve from this side, because I reckon we'll still get something nice. Got to keep the black backing. Barrington tops. Oh. Should have a look at the elevation map, and there's always something to do with elevation with these things. You'll be glad to know that you need to know a little bit of geology, because the good soils follow the basalt. That meant that someone had to teach geology in the classes. And that was me. But the more practical geology that you do is reading the landscape. So you go out to, I don't know, Narrabri, and you have a look around, and you see the volcanic peaks and the cycloidal slopes, and you go, okay, so this place is downhill from that, so that's going to be where all the material has come from. We do that kind of thing. Maybe we could just dig up Mount Kosciuszko. Sure, everyone will be happy with that. Not helping again, am I? Now we're getting nasty. Oh dear. Known him for 5 minutes, he's like, okay, shut up, dirt boy. Well, that's right, yeah. I'm unashamedly saying that if you want to find gems, other than opal, because I've got a pretty good idea of what opal is doing. Oh, and also, you know, gold landscapes are important to understand as well, because they're mostly to do with hydrology. Yeah, I think this guy's a sit and think. It's very thin now. And the only place where the colour is showing is where I've taken off the black, so I'm going to not persist with that one. Fortunately, I have plenty more to worry about, so I'll just pop those down. Some of these will be nice. I'll do this one quickly, I reckon. I'll show it to you. This one is clipping the camera sensor because it's so bright. Hopefully we'll be able to get through the sand. We'll see. Yeah, I'm a bit of a believer in, yeah, share the knowledge around, but if someone's going to be a bit dumb, there's this thing called the tragedy of the commons that will mean that your landscape won't be that pristine. You can use density to find gems, so, you know, it's a similar, like, don't get me wrong, I'm terrible at panning, but, you can use density to find gems, so you don't need to do anything outrageous. And technically, the soil scientists are the people who advise the miners on how to fix up the mess they've made when they've been mining in the first place. It's not so easy when you fractured a water table. I'll be able to do something with this, but that has gone straight through that crack. Just hedging my bets by using the edge of the blade, just in case it can't be saved. I've still got a plan B. Sorry, just looking at it myself. Here we go. Right, this will have to be doubleted. I really like solid crystals, but oh well, that's life sometimes. And I think this is the point where we start dopping it. So there we have it. I've managed to get most of it out. You'll see there's a few little imperfections that are still around, but I think that should be dealt with in the dop. Well, I don't think it's dinosaur leavings anymore. I think it's been replaced by various things. Dinosaur leavings. I'm trying to keep my G rating around here. You can say what you like, by the way. I just can't. Okay. By the way, this is a nice one. Maybe I should have shown you anyway. It's a few nice little piece. There's a crack in it, so I've got to take the crack off, but it's got some nice colour to it. Here we go. Here's the colourful bit, by the way. Oh, come on, stupid camera. Okay, it's colourful. I'm going to be like a cold day in Hyde Park when this... Yeah. When the flashes are describing themselves to you. Right, so... It's amazingly colourful. You're seeing white. Just believe me. Millions wooded. Alright, so this has been a surface opal for a little while. That's what creates all that cracking. The sunlight, allegedly. Or so Caleb says, if you know who he is. Little kid from Coopedi. Opal Guy has arrived. Do you have a plug for us, Opal Guy? I'll show him the new decor once I'm done with this. Actually, I think I can get this crack out. This opal had the biggest plumber's smile on it. Oh, no plugs. Me? Yeah, I've cut a few willows and I've resulted in many pieces of willow opal all over the place. Not my favourite. I'd rather do them into beach. So have a look at this guy now. See how he's not quite done, but yeah. Look, I'm not prejudiced, Opal Guy. It's just when I've cut a willow opal, especially with this setup, it goes hell for leather on it, and then all of a sudden the opal is either powder or dead. Very, very dead. So I think I'm going to have to figure out a different strategy for willows. Major problem is I've been spoiled for choice. I find lightning ridge is the easiest to cut. The way I describe it is like butter. There we go, that guy's going to sell for a pretty penny. Zoom in there. Okay, whilst we're zoomed out a bit, I'll show you, one of my markers has already fallen off, great. But what I'll show you is over here, I'll actually move the phone so you can actually see. So that says CM right at the top there. And this is 1 centimetre, 2 centimetres, 3 centimetres. And I put a wooden mark right where I think about an inch should be. So that means when you get your, that looks like it's about an inch. So you get your opal, put it up against that. Oh yeah, that's about an inch. Well, yeah, I've got some garnets that I've been cutting, and I quite enjoy cutting the garnets, but they take a while. Just getting it all set up again. Now look at that. somehow I managed to foul everything. Went to a lot of effort to do a spring clean here. Opal might be soft, but it's no respecter of glassware. Alright. Just having a look. There might be just one or two little bits I'm going to flick off. And then it's Dop City for this guy. Yeah, that's much better. I think we're going to say that it's not a crack, it's webbing. That's most decidedly a crack. I think we... okay, I think I got lucky with that one. Because that could have gone anywhere. So this one's a bit taller, so that's going to sit at about a carat, I reckon. I could make a nice little dome about it. So even though it's about the same width as the other ones, it's actually a good deal thicker. So, alright, that's going, yeah, that's going to be nice. Let's go in the jar. That jar, the rubs jar. Okay, let's have a look here. That one's going in the rub jar too, because I'll be dopping the other ones so that they... I honestly thought... Let's have a look at this one. Yes, I did think. How silly of me. Okay, this one's a bit softer in colour. Going to zoom in. So, very soft, but I think this one's going to cut a nice gem. Just checking the sand is there. I keep saying this, I should have cracked out the laser. So far, I see no opal on the left-hand side whatsoever. So, this is an interesting one. Okay, I'm going to zoom in. Have a look at this. So on this side, you can see some precious opal, right? Just on that side there. Flip it over, and on the other side, there's precious opal on the other side. See that? So I am going, let me have a look again. Yeah, so where that sand is, I'm just going to cut straight through, and you'll see that I'll have two opals that face on opposite sides. Oh, you don't see that every day. So I'm going to cut straight through this. So there's this sand line there. I'm going to cut straight through that. If you have a look on the other side, that's going to pretty much serve me well. It's going to go straight through. Let's have a look at what it does. I will be cutting through a little bit of precious opal doing that, but I think it's the best option. What I might do is I might cut through the... Yeah, I'll cut through that way. Let's see. Yeah, until I get to that point, and then I'll readjust the cut. I think that's the best way to do it. First things first though, I might actually carve that sand away, because I think it might go away. Yep, we can dodge that sand, that's good. Also managed to pull out some more opal. Unbelievably, I think that the other side might be better than this side. Also, it seems the sand's just going away. famous last words though. So let's just keep working the opal. I'd already committed to cutting. But I think what I'll do is I'll just make sure that all of the bases are covered first. That looks a bit crackly. Right. So we're going to carve along there. Something flew. Right, what have we got? We've got it. I've been a bit cack-handed with it, so I might have to cut that corner off. But other than that, we're okay. So this corner's going to have to go because that's my fault. But hang on, it's not too bad. There's a piece of the sand is there, so that's not a mistake. That's a feature. I'm okay. It landed here somewhere. That's not it. Is that it? That's not it. It's here somewhere. That's one piece. The other piece is here. And this is the bit that I just cut off. Right, we've got all of it. So this piece will also face so long as I get rid of that sand underneath. So let's give that a shot. It didn't quite go the way I wanted it to because it decided to fly away from my hand and smash. So, I mean, nothing bad happened. It just didn't go along the line I had devised for it. Now, other than the webbing that's happening on it, quite a nice opal. Have a look at that. Don't like the look of that. We're going to call it webbing, we're not calling it cracks. Right, here's the bit that I have just decided to face the other side of. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the sand back. I'm going to roll it in and see if I can find some opal under there. I have always noticed that precious opal seems to follow the sand. So I know a lot of people consider it to be a nuisance, but I think it's an occupational hazard as far as opal's concerned. Yeah, look at that. I was right. That's good. So there is still a piece of sand here, so I'm going to just be a bit brutal with it. Gonna have to don't want to do this, but I will. Opal isn't worth the big bucks because it's easy to make. There we go. Alright, so what I can do now is I could just bring those corners in. No mucking around, no dropping, no Well, I might drop it, but I'm not going to make a drop out of this. I'm going to try and make a cab. I'll go slightly freeform, actually, because I noticed that it's not quite... It's got a bit of a belly on it, basically. Maybe if I can drag this belly in, we can make it less of a freeform, more of a cab. Yeah, I can cab it. No trouble. The only trouble I've got is inconsistent thickness now.
Hold the dearest.
Yes, darling.
I love you.
Love you too, bub. That was my daughter just telling me that she still loves me, which is good.
Hold the dearest. Not anymore.
I've become Elon Musk.
I thought you were going to say Ellen DeGeneres, and I was trying to figure out how the hell that was relevant. I guess. No, she was... No, I'm not opening that dialogue here on the live stream. Love you, Father. Goodbye.
Love you too. That's my daughter. She's there to make sure that the live stream never goes according to plan. She doesn't realise I've got opals that do that for me. So this is the side catch, which is about a carat. Cannot complain. Just when cabbing, I've learned a few little tricks. One of them is to square off the smallest bit and then re-round it. That usually gets the thing looking a little bit more symmetrical. Then you don't have to worry too much. And any issues you have making them round is usually to do with the bottom of the thing. Well, that is for me anyway. I've learned that if you put a lot of effort into the back, you make your life so much easier to live. Right. So what I'll do is, even though the front isn't that good, the back is. So I'll leave that and I'll put it on the dop stick. That's the other thing I've learned. Don't worry too much about the colour. You can see the colour through. It's quite bright from here, but it is also a very white opal, so not exactly your lightning ridge special, but it's Cooper Petey. What do you expect? Now, here's what I expected to be the main event. I think the side catch is going to end up with more carats, but you know. Still got to get rid of that sand, and that's the thin side of the opal. I really need to talk to the opals executive and get them to sort their messes out. This will never do. Speaking of this will never do, I'm going to have to reorder my my good opal collection, because it took me a while to get to some good opal. I have 3 drawers, you've seen them probably, in which I just sit there and put good opal in one drawer, mediocre opal in another drawer, and meh in the final drawer. Whatever has gone wrong? Probably been cherry picking too much. I think these have ended up a relatively similar size. Let me have a look. Well, that's intriguing. There you go, have a look at that. Maybe I should calibrate them, turn them into earrings. So I will leave them there because I might dop them. I'm putting them to the head of the queue. Now there was another one sitting around, wasn't there? Was it that one? No, that's just a piece of lightning ridge material which is just flung off somewhere that I'm going to cut now, quickly. Tiny little piece of lightning ridge, which is looking pretty sweet. So, not that huge, but who cares? Here's a bit sand shot. Maybe I shouldn't have bothered with this. Doesn't matter. Yeah, you're right. But the other thing is that the camera's not doing it any favours whatsoever. Because I'm seeing some pretty good colour, and then, like when I show it to you, yeah, I'm not continuing with that one because it's got a crack in it. All right, starting to feel my age. Let me have a look at this one. I'm wondering whether to go out with a bang or a whimper. I think this is one of the offcuts that I was messing with. Let's have a quick look at it. Yep, this is the one that had the... If you remember, I was going, oh, that red stuff. This is going to be hilarious because if you remember correctly, that one didn't go that well. Looks like I was cutting the wrong bit. Life is funny that way sometimes. Just quickly running through this bit, finishing everything up. Sehr gut, sehr gut. Only trouble is that crack in there. Can get rid of that. I'm going to persist. It's a silly idea, but I'm going to persist anyway. Because this is just a quickie anyway. There's just this black spot right there, which I do not like. Still there. Cut it in half, I'm afraid. Oh well, that was the story of that opal anyway. Made sure I knew where I put it. Well, that one went right on the road to nowhere. Glad I invested that time. I'm not going to do the other side of it. I'm just having a look around at these pieces. Let me have a look around here. I'll find you something. The other problem is that I've covered it all in detritus. Thought I saw some flash here, and this is a lightning ridge. Let me check. Another witch's hat that's just sitting around doing nothing. Yeah, okay. This might have some potential. Let's go. First get rid of the white. This is going to be the back, probably. I have said that before, and then changed my mind when things started getting really cool. Hopefully, this might be the last one. Oh my goodness. So, how are my prophecies? Pretty good. Give me a second to just do some little cleanups and then you can see what I'm seeing. I'm hoping the middle of the witch's hat is what I think it is, because there might be some black magic here. Alright, I should be a commentator for something. Okay, here we go. This might be the back. Yep, I was going to say this is the front because like it was a natural dome. But no. The Opal has said, you're not... No, I'm not going to be conventional. Alright, as long as you're a nice sparkly opal, that's all I care about. I'm just getting the feeling that this is... Well, let's just see. There might only just be colour on one side of it, so... Let's not count our chickens before they hatch. Okay, we'll take a slight break and show you what I see. Have a look at that. If that cleans up, all the way through, wall to wall. So, and it looks to be on this side, so it might actually be on the witch's hat side, but I'll clean up all of it first before we get to deciding what to do with it. But man, this is starting to look a bit exciting. I'll just clean this bit off first. Not bad for an afterthought. You notice that I've slowed down considerably. When you realise you're dealing with something rather expensive, you kind of go, maybe I'm not going to just go burning through this thing. I even use two hands. Ooh, crack it out. Big guns. Now, I'll just offer you a word of warning and a word of caution, ladies and gentlemen. This is a witch's hat nobby, and they're called witch's hats because of the way they're shaped, but they may as well be called that because of the way they are. There's a good chance that there's nothing but sand in the middle of this thing. Even though the outside is just absolutely rife with colour, we could just be dealing with sand in the middle. So, I'm very happy with the way this is going, but we've got to be just planning for some nastiness in the end. We've got to plan for some sting in the tail. This is not a fait accompli. This is by no means a done deal. And I have had more than my fair share of good luck in these last few months. So, statistically that doesn't mean anything, but you know, from the human perspective, yeah, it might mean something. What have we got? Did that just clear up a bit? I think it did. Come on. Show me your colour. Show me your colour. Getting somewhere. It's going to be a little on the thin side, but I think we're getting through. We're not going to have much of a dome. But, oh, yeah, baby, yeah. Oh, my goodness. Okay, come on, you can do this. We've got enough to work with anyway, but I think we're going to get through. Come on. Have we got a genuine wall-to-wall black opal here? I think we do. Oh, it's getting close. It's getting close. Just come on. You can do this. When I sound like the count, you know something good is happening. Oh, man. That's green. I just saw a flash of green poking through that little bit of the witch's hat. Okay, come on. If we have to cut this off, that's not a big deal, but I think we don't have to. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm going to have... This is getting too thin. I'm just going to have to give it a little bit of love on the sides here. Didn't want to do that, but, you know, them's the breaks. You might have to bring it in, so if I have to just... Come on, we can do this last bit. Just not giving up the ghost on that last pass. Did I make a mistake in... I'm not turning it around now, I'm just making sure the back's good, by the way. So it's just a quick flick round. I'm pretty certain that I made the right call with the facing because I saw where the colour bar was. What I'm going to do is I'm going to roll it in. So that means we're going to lose a bit of the side. We're going to lose a bit of the corner, but we're going to be alright, I think. It might have to become a drop. But I don't care at this point. I'm a happy chappy. Yeah, I'm going to turn it into a drop. Because I think that... will I? What I might do is I might just scratch across the face, which I don't want to do. Okay, here we go. This will give us a more accurate idea of what we need to do. Yeah, we may have to lose that bit. That's a shame. Yeah, it's just going to be a little bit too thick. So I'll just carve it from here. It's a bit annoying, but it'll still be a nice big stone. Not to mention the fact if I cut it here, that's through the major disruption. That means we get two. Well, presuming I control the stone and don't destroy it. But other than that, yes. Okay, what have I got here? What have I got to work with? This is a tiny bit. We'll see what we can do. Are there any bear traps to look out for? We'll use this tiny thing as our little canary in a cage. Don't let it get too small, but other than that, not bad. Alright, I need to bring that end in. So that's an electric blue. You can see that. That's just the... Well, come on. Show the people. So you saw that, hopefully. Go back there and be pretty. Okay? Go be pretty. Over there. There. Good. Very good. You now, I declare you pretty. Okay, let's have a look at this piece. This, not as big as I was hoping, but who cares? It's getting big enough. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I think you just saw the black magic of a witch's hat knobby. Look at that. That's amazing. Just getting that final piece of sand off the face. Just the tiniest bit. I'm going to make sure that the back is good. I'm going to dop it because it's not worth losing patience and ruining the stone for. So I'm just going to very carefully take a few teensy little corners off. Don't you dare move across the face. I'll slap you in the face. Okay, keep that angle good. Okay, it's a bit roundish, but let's have a look at that. Can you see that? It is, the sensor cannot cope with how bright that opal is. If I flip it round, you'll find that all of the opal does that. That is a gem to behold. That's what it is. Look at that. So bright you can't really understand how bright it is. You don't get one of those every day. Oh boy. All right. And I dropped it. Hang on. Where did it go? Just there. Don't worry, found it. Okay. Come on, zoom out. The sensor can't cope anyway. I'm just bringing this in with me because I'll just dop it on the oven. There we go. How long have I been out there for? Dop stick, let's go. Hello guys, how you doing? Looks like your bedding's due a change, and Max has redecorated the floor. I'm not going to even show it. How are you? Hey, how are you? Scratchy poo? Yeah, scratchy poo. Got some pins there. Got some. Hello, how you doing, Max? Oh, this place is a bit. Oh my. Okay, so my daughter's been in and just did things to the kitchen. I cleaned up the kitchen prior to the stream because, you know, you don't want to have a messy house. Hello. Yeah, you want to come in? There you go. Brill. I think it's almost a it's almost a tradition, I think, to end up with an opal at the end of the day, which is not the opal that you advertised in the stream. I think I can one-handed dop, so let's go. Ignore what they did with the kitchen. Honestly, never work with children or animals, as they say. I have a variety of dopping techniques. Which one's the shiny side? I've dried it off, so I can't see the shiny side anymore. that shiny side, flip it over. For those of you who don't know, this is Dopping an opal. Someone's going, what are you doing? A few little nuances for this dopping is the fact that I'm not using dopping wax, I'm using leg wax. And I'm just letting the wax drop with gravity a bit, and then it's going to pick up the opal, and then I'm going to use that to heat the opal, because I don't know if it works with dopping wax or not, but the whole idea of heating the opal is to make sure that it is completely free of moisture. If it's free of moisture, it won't come off. If it's got moisture, it will. And you'll notice that it's just been nothing but wet. As you can see, it's not quite flat on the top. It's also a bit asymmetrical on the top, so being a bit and then ordinarily, if I had two hands, I'd be a bit unhappy with that, but I'll call that done for the time being. Pop that over here. Right. So these are the opals that I'll be dopping next. So bonus, thank you. That was when people send you opals, a lot of the time they send you bonus opals. So you'll always get a packet with a bonus written on it somewhere. Okay. What to do with you, my friend? What to do with you? You're looking very expected. You're looking very expected. I've got to change your water. Did I change your water today? Yeah, I did. You've just fouled it again. Yeah. There we are. All right. I can feel a few pins. I had to take out a crest feather the other day. That was interesting. Was it at Max? You're loving that. There you go. Right. It's all right. I'll let you out later. It's probably like a million past midnight or something. Okay, Loki, you next. Max is the wild one. Loki is a little less wild, so she's a little easier to deal with. So you can notice that I'm a bit more, a little bit more carefree. I treat her with a bit more hubris, I suppose. She still bites a bit. If you hurt her, she'll hurt back, basically. So we have a rule in the house that basically no unreasonable biting. And by unreasonable biting, like if I'm doing the pin feathers here, for example. Let's go in. It's all right, Loki. There's a pin feather here. If you hit, there it is. Hang on. If you hit the pink part of the pin feather, if I can find the pin feather at all for you. Got a giant smudge on my screen, which is not helping. There is the pin feather. Going to find it with my own two eyes, and then I'm going to zoom the camera in on it. There's one. Just bring this out. There we go. Can see that pink thing? She bit me, but she didn't bite me hard because she knew that pin feather was a bit. She knew that pin feather was a little bit dodge. So see if I can. There's another one. Yeah. Hang on. Yeah. See, there's a pin feather. There's the white bit. And if you hit the pink bit, that bird is going to react quite badly. Yeah, I'll get you something to eat. There you go. All right. Final one is pony, of course. All of these birds are rescues. I determined in my own mind not to keep birds because they're too much maintenance, and you've got to account for the fact that they fly, and I don't believe in cutting their wings. So this is Pony, the pigeon. Now, why we've got a pigeon? My girlfriend found her dying outside my house. She knew I was a bird kind of guy, and she said, "Can you look after the pigeon?" And I'm like, okay. And I fully expected her not to survive the night. As you can see, she's as chipper as anything. She's also the messiest. All right. So I think that has been a really, really excellent session. I was really happy with that. I got myself a few good opals. The ones which I thought would be good were smaller than I expected. But in the end, I think I got some pretty good value out of them. I'll show you one last thing before we go. Hang on. Oop. Flipping around. Right. Where is it? This is the stone that we cut the other day. So here it is. Now this is a fairly interesting stone. I'll show it to you. Can I get the thing open with one hand? Yes, I can. Right, flipping around. So this is a Cooperpedy opal, right? And I'll zoom in on it so you can see. As a matter of fact, I'll go over to my work desk. There's a lot going on here. I'm also trying to refine gold. That's what that muck is. So at any rate, let's get it happening. So you can see that it's actually got pink potch and it's got pin fire through it. And if I flip it around, this is not, of course, the coloured side, but you can actually see that there's, maybe you can't see. But basically on the white side beyond the pink potch, there is also some colour. So it's heart-shaped with pink potch and colour going through it. I'm pretty certain that's actually quite a unique little gem there. Haven't seen a pink coloured opal before. I googled it and I found one example. It's certainly not cut in the shape of a heart, so I've possibly got a unique stone there. I don't know. If you've seen one, tell me. So I think we're done. I am exhausted, but I had an awful lot of fun. So if you enjoyed, like and subscribe. If you didn't enjoy it, well, why are you still here? Have a lovely day. Dr. Phil out.